Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, guys? I got a great video for you guys today, man. Thanks for tuning in again. I want to thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for all the love, the comments. I appreciate it a lot, guys. It means a lot to me, man. It really does. And in this video, we're going to continue. You guys know we're going to continue with the celebration of Michael Jordan. We're going to continue to celebrate the greatest basketball player of all times. And we are going to continue to right the wrongs, right? Stop the lies that are being told about Michael Jordan. And we're going to put his career in perspective. And we're going to tell the truth. We're going to continue to tell the truth on this channel and tell the truth about Michael Jordan and the NBA at that time. And in this video, guys, this is a great video today, man. So once again, we're going to talk about Michael Jordan and the iconic moments of Michael Jordan's career, right? It's the same thing. Like I said, guys, we're going to celebrate Michael Jordan because a lot of people have been bashing Michael Jordan over the last several years. So we're going to celebrate Michael Jordan on this channel, guys. We celebrate Michael Jordan, man, and we keep it strictly about basketball. This is not personal. Right? We're being objective here, man. A lot of people have a problem being objective when it comes to debating sports or talking sports in general. We're objective here, guys, and we keep it about basketball. This is not personal. I do not know Michael Jordan personally. We are not friends. It doesn't matter to me if guys don't like Michael Jordan or don't think he's the greatest of all time. I got no problem with that stuff, guys, and you know that. My problem is the lies. I will not allow the lies to be told about Michael Jordan. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, that's cool, guys, but I'm telling you the facts. I'm telling you the facts about Michael Jordan. No feelings and no lies. So in this video, we're going to talk about the iconic moments of Michael Jordan because to me, guys, and if you guys as Michael Jordan fans, we all know that Michael Jordan has the most iconic moments in NBA history, right? No other basketball player in NBA history has more iconic moments than Michael Jordan. That's part of his legacy, right? It's part of his myth, his mystique. It's all the iconic moments that he has. I mean, every time you turn around or you put on the screen of Michael Jordan, it's an iconic moment. He's doing something that's iconic, right? Or special or whatever it is. His career is filled with these iconic moments that most players don't even have nearly half the amount of iconic moments that Michael Jordan does. Nowhere near. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do this video, guys, if I'm going to try to follow a timeline. I'll try to start from the beginning of his career and go to the end. You know, I don't write stuff down, guys. I don't really take notes like that. I try to just do a lot of these things off the top of my head, off my memories, that I remember growing up. So as usual, guys, hit the play button. You don't have to watch my video. Just listen to my voice. Listen to what I'm talking about. Listen to the information, guys, because the information is there. You guys know it's there. So go get breakfast ready. Go get dressed. Go get ready for work. Go get ready for school. Whatever you're doing, get your kids ready. Just play it in the background, hit the play button, and listen to what I'm saying, guys. All right? So, when we think about Michael Jordan, we think about the iconic moments of Michael Jordan, we have to, I guess, start with the shot in North Carolina. I guess that's where we have to start. You know, if we're going to talk about his college career, if we're going to talk about his basketball career, let's start with the shot in college. Now, I won't cover the shot too long, the shot that he hit at North Carolina against Georgetown as a freshman, because we all know that iconic moment, right? That's one of Michael Jordan's, that's like his coming out party, so to speak, right? Michael Jordan often says that's when he went from Mike to Michael Jordan, right? Not from Mike Jordan to Michael Jordan. He said that shot is what people really started to pay attention to him and kind of put him on the map, so to speak, right? And the North Carolina Tar Heels were going to capture that title. Now, that would be the only title that Michael Jordan would win in college. He would play 3 years at North Carolina, and he would leave after his junior season and go into the NBA. But thinking about Michael Jordan iconic moments, that is his first iconic moment. That is the first moment of Michael Jordan's career as a basketball player that really, like I said, kind of put him on the map, that made people kind of be like, oh, who is this kid, Michael Jordan? And that kind of, set the stage for the rest of his career. Michael Jordan hitting that clutch shot late in the game, that would go on to become his MO in the NBA, right? Being known as probably the most clutch performer in NBA history, right? Or one of the most clutch performers in NBA history. And that shot in college was just the beginning of that, guys, right? So now Michael Jordan comes into the NBA, guys, and what would you say would be his first iconic moment in the NBA, or one of his iconic moments from his rookie year? I mean, you could pretty much say that his entire rookie season was iconic, because I've told you guys in past videos that to me, Michael Jordan's rookie season was the greatest rookie season, individual rookie season, since Will Chamberlain, right? The numbers that Michael Jordan was putting up: 28 points per game, leading the league in total points scored, third in points per game. I think he was sixth in MVP voting, leading his team in every major statistic: points, rebounds, assists, and steals. I mean, it just, like I said, the whole season was iconic as a whole for a rookie Michael Jordan to come in. And I told you, he took over the league. As a rookie, Michael Jordan was the brightest star as soon as he came in the NBA, guys. As soon as he came in. So you could say that his entire rookie season was iconic in and of its own. However, I'm going to focus on the slam dunk contest of that year. The first slam dunk contest that Michael Jordan would enter, 1985 slam dunk contest. And we all know that as gold chain Michael Jordan, right? How many times have we all said, talked about gold chain Jordan with the 2 gold chains, man? And, what I'm saying, the creativity. And I've told you guys in the video that I did the other day that Michael Jordan never rehearsed his dunks for the slam dunk contest. He never practiced his dunks beforehand. All the things that you saw Michael Jordan do in the slam dunk contest as a rookie was him letting his creativity take over in the moment. That's what he said in an interview during the slam dunk contest, his rookie season. He never practiced or rehearsed any of these things, man. He just went out there on the fly in the moment and let the creativity flow. Let the creativity take over. And I've told you, Michael Jordan had the most creative mind that I've ever seen on a basketball court, man. The beauty of his game, the artistry, the level of artistry that Michael Jordan would exhibit during the slam dunk contest. Even though he did not win his rookie season in the slam dunk contest, the dunks were iconic still, and they were beautiful. You guys know the ones I'm talking about with the gold chain, the one when he's up and under on the other side like that, man. Oh, man, it's one of my favorite posters, man. You guys know the poster. You've seen him. You've seen him. But that's one of the most iconic moments of Michael Jordan's career. Now, we can lump all the slam dunk contests into one, and just say that the slam dunk contest in general, I believe Jordan competed in 3 slam dunk contests. He won 2 of them. And they were all iconic. Not only was he iconic in the slam dunk contest, but Dominique Wilkins was iconic in the slam dunk contest. There were iconic slam dunkers in these contests. Guys like Clyde Drexler were in these slam dunk contests, man. Just iconic dunk contests, man. And competitors. And Michael Jordan himself, one of the most iconic moments was Michael Jordan in the slam dunk contest, jumping from the free throw line, man. You know what I'm saying, guys. I mentioned it the other day in my video. Probably the most popular poster in history of Michael Jordan cocking it back with the feet back, flying through the air. You guys know what I'm talking about, man. The most iconic slam dunk poster that Michael Jordan had, man, from that slam dunk contest from the free throw line, man. So I would say that's another iconic moment of Michael Jordan. And now we can think about, after the slam dunk contest, I want to talk about something else that's maybe not iconic per se, but it's a lesser known thing or fact about Michael Jordan. And in the 1990 All-Star weekend, Michael Jordan competed in the 1990 3-point contest. Now, why am I bringing this up in the iconic moments of Michael Jordan, right? The 1990 3-point contest was not necessarily iconic. I think Michael Jordan set the record for the lowest amount of points scored in a 3-point contest with like 4 or 5, something like that, guys. So this wasn't like an impressive thing from Michael Jordan, but why do I call it iconic? For me, it was very impressive that Michael Jordan was willing to put himself out there in a 3-point contest competition. Because as we know, 3-pointers were not big in the 90s or in Michael Jordan's era in general. And Michael Jordan was not known as a 3-point specialist or a 3-point shooter in general. However, in 1990, Michael Jordan started to take 3-pointers more frequently. And I believe that season he shot like 37 or 38% from the 3-point line. I think he averaged about 3 attempts a game. So he probably felt with with his game that season that he would maybe do pretty good in the 3-point contest. But why not, right? Why not put yourself out there? Michael Jordan was not afraid to fail. He was never afraid of failure. He was never afraid to put himself out there. And in the 1993 point contest, he put himself out there going against guys like Larry Bird, guys like Mark Price, Reggie Miller, and things like that. So he was going against some stiff competition for the three-point championship that year. But I just thought that was very interesting that Michael Jordan would even do that. I mean, think about that, guys. You rarely will see a slam dunk champion or someone who's known as a dunker, or a high flyer or that kind of player to, compete in a three-point contest. And I believe maybe only Ray Allen and maybe Zach LaVine have been the only people to compete in a slam dunk contest and a three-point contest in their careers. I believe they're the only ones. I could be wrong. You guys can check me on that, man, all right? But yeah, Michael Jordan competing in the 1990 three-point contest, guys. That's the slam dunk contest, the three-point contest. We can also talk about the shot in 1989, right? The Craig Elo shot against the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's right behind me right here, guys. That's the shot right there against the Cleveland Cavaliers. In 1989, first round against the number 3 seeded Cavaliers. The Bulls, as the number 6 seed, would go on to beat the Cavaliers on that shot. And, we often talk about that shot, and it was an iconic shot. To me, that 1989 playoff run is very underrated, and to me, that shot propelled the Bulls to a dynasty. That was the shot that kind of propelled them to future successes, right? That was the beginning, in my opinion, guys. And we all know that Michael Jordan would hit that shot. The Bulls would go on to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time that season. They would lose to the Detroit Pistons in 6 games. But what was really impressive, or one of the most impressive things about that shot to me personally, was Michael Jordan getting freed up for that shot. If you guys remember the replay, Michael Jordan, they're inbounding the ball. Michael Jordan essentially had to go full speed one way, cut back the other way, while he was being blanketed between Craig Elo and Larry Nance. Larry Nance was fronting him or face guarding him, and Craig Elo was guarding him also on the other side. And Michael Jordan had to essentially, shake both of these guys by going side to side, catching the ball, then going back full speed in the other direction. To me, that was what was really the most impressive part of that entire sequence, was him having to get open, going back and forth really fast, stopping and cutting back the other way, and then rising up for that shot, and then clutching the shot as Craig Elo came by. Michael Jordan had to clutch the shot and then shoot it. One of the most difficult and clutch shots of Michael Jordan's career. However, I don't think it was the most difficult or the most clutch. But that did propel the Bulls and Michael Jordan to, like I said, I believe into their dynasty years. So the shot in 1989, another iconic moment of Michael Jordan. Now, listen, guys, this video might go a little long because there's a lot of iconic moments. I'm not going to cover all of them. I'm going to try to go through the ones that I remember the most and the ones that, made me feel something. So after that, I guess we would have to go to the 1991 NBA Finals, guys. I'm going to go to the 1991 NBA Finals here, and we're going to talk about the switch hands, right? We all know about Michael Jordan switching hands in the air, right? Coming down the lane in game 2 and then switching up with the left hand, finishing with the left. And, it's crazy because, a lot of times, when you watch that replay, some people might think that, Michael Jordan didn't have to switch hands. It was almost like an unnecessary switch. However, if you watch the replay, you can see that Sam Perkins thought about jumping up and contesting the layup. And then I think he had a second opinion about that. I was like, let me not jump and get dunked on. But I believe that Michael Jordan anticipated Sam Perkins contesting the shot, and he decided to switch it up. And Perkins ended up not trying to contest it. So it almost looked like Michael Jordan was being fancy for no reason. And it actually probably made the move that much more beautiful because, like I said, he jumped up like he was going to dunk it. And then, like I said, hanging there and then just switched it. And you guys know this is what I'm talking about with Michael Jordan. The creativity, the beautiful game that he had. The beauty, the artistry. That was art right there. We all know about the switch hands in 91, guys. But I'm going to keep it in 91. I'm going to go right to the very next game, game 3, man. One of the most iconic. To me, guys, I've mentioned this. If you guys follow my channel, you guys know I have mentioned game 3 of the 1991 NBA Finals several times because at the end of game 3, Scottie Pippen fouls out. The Bulls are down by 2 points. They have the ball with about 9 seconds, I believe. And Michael Jordan has to come down. And to me, this is the most difficult shot that I've ever seen him hit as far as clutch goes. The most difficult and clutch, like that combination of difficulty and clutchness, to me, this was the most difficult and clutch shot that I've ever seen Michael Jordan hit. It just was. So like I just told you, man, Scottie Pippen fouls out at the end of the game, guys, and the Bulls are down by 2. They have the ball with about 9 seconds. Michael Jordan drives down the length of the court, right? Dribbles down the length of the court. Byron Scott riding him the whole way, hand checking him. Michael Jordan has to stop at the top of the key. I mean, he stops on a dime, Michael Jordan. I'm telling you, he was going full speed, guys. Look at the replay. Stops and then has to rise up for the jump shot at the top of the key over the 7'2" Vlade Divac's outstretched hands. And if you guys look at that replay, the reason why I call it the most difficult and clutch shot is because if you look at the replay, I mean, the ball goes over Vlade. I mean, when Michael Jordan shoots and releases it, it's almost like they hit hands. And the ball, like, I don't know how Vlade Divac did not block it. I'm talking about a fingernail, guys, away from blocking this shot. And if Michael Jordan does not hit this shot, the Bulls lose game 3. They go down 2-1. They go down 2-1, guys. You know, a lot of people forget that. They had lost the first game in Chicago. They came back and won the second game. And the third game was in the balance late in that game. Like I told you, the Bulls were down 2 and 9 seconds left. Pippen had just fouled out. Michael Jordan hits that shot. Like I said, the most iconic and difficult or most difficult and clutch shot that I've seen Michael Jordan hit. That's never talked about. No one ever talks about this shot at the end of game 3 in regulation in the 1991 NBA Finals. Think about it, guys. I talk about that shot more than I've ever heard anybody talk about that ever. Sends the game to overtime, and he has to carry the Bulls to an overtime win without his best running mate, Scottie Pippen, who had fouled out. Very, very iconic moment in Michael Jordan's career to me, guys. Like I said, one of the most difficult and clutch shots I've ever seen Michael Jordan hit. When we think about iconic moments, what do we think about, guys? We think about 1992. You know, and I'm going to go with Game 7. I'm going to go against the New York Knicks, man, 1992. And I'm going to go with the Chicago Bulls, Game 7 against the Knicks. Michael Jordan and Xavier McDaniel, nose to nose, man, head to head, right? And Michael Jordan saying, F you, right? They were nose to nose. Him and Xavier McDaniel, who was an enforcer, man, who was known for being an enforcer, known for being tough and gritty, man. You know what I'm saying? Having that heart. You know what I'm saying? Xavier McDaniel was a hard-nosed player, man, and Michael Jordan was right in his face, man. And why was that? Because Michael Jordan was sticking up for Horace Grant. He was sticking up for Scottie Pippen in that series and in that game particular, man. Michael Jordan was the enforcer for the Chicago Bulls, guys. Michael Jordan was the big brother. He was the leader, right? He was the general. He was all these things, man, for these guys. When Horace Grant was getting knocked down, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, you think about Scottie Pippen was getting beat up. Michael Jordan was always there to get them up off the ground, to be like, yo, man, don't let these guys see you hurt, man. I remember Michael Jordan telling Grant that stuff, man. But in that 1992 Eastern Conference second round against the Knicks in Game 7, man, one of the most iconic moments, Michael Jordan, Xavier McDaniels, nose to nose, man, head to head, man, just staring at each other, you know what I'm saying, not giving an inch and stuff, man. That was, yo, man, when you think about that moment, man, just gives you chills, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Mike wasn't backing down to these guys. The Knicks were tough, man. They were hungry. And the Bulls would just not back down, man. They wouldn't let him come in there and bully them. He wouldn't allow these guys to get bullied. He wouldn't allow Pippen to get bullied or Grant to get bullied. He wouldn't allow it. And I'll never forget that, man. That was one of the most iconic moments I remember of Michael Jordan, Xavier McDaniel, nose to nose, man. Great stuff right there, guys. Great stuff. We got to think about 1992. We got to think about the shrug, right? The 1992 NBA Finals against the Portland Trailblazers. The shrug game, right? Michael Jordan hitting 6 3-pointers in the first half, setting a then NBA record in the NBA Finals with a 6 3-pointer in the first half, man. And the interesting thing about that game is if you watch that first half and you watch how the Trailblazers were guarding Michael Jordan, they were allowing Michael Jordan to shoot the outside shot. They did not want Michael Jordan driving to the hole, dunking, finishing under the rim, dishing to other players. They wanted to keep him on the perimeter. They wanted him to shoot the shot. So if you notice, Clyde Drexler was playing back off Michael Jordan in the first half of that game 1 specifically. He was giving Michael Jordan a lot of room, man, because he did not want Jordan to try to blow by him. So they were allowing Michael Jordan to hit these shots, and Michael Jordan made one. Then, you know, he made a second one. Then he made the third one. And then you started to be like, yo, Michael Jordan, he never shot this many threes, but it was like Michael Jordan was a master at understanding what the other team was trying to do to him. And he understood that Clyde was playing back and that the Trailblazers were giving him the shot. So once Michael Jordan noticed that and he started to make a couple, he started to get that comfort going. He started to feel it. And what happened? He hit 4, then he hit 5, and then he hit 6. And then he hit us with the shrug. He hit us with it, or he hit Magic Johnson with the shrug because they were talking together the night before. Magic Johnson told that story that Michael Jordan said that he had it. He had something for Clyde Drexler in game 1 for the finals, man. And Michael Jordan, of course, on cue, you know, he never let it down, man. He never said things and then didn't follow through. If Michael Jordan said he was going to do something, he did it. If he said he was going to drop 50 on you, yeah, maybe he dropped 48, 47, but you was going to know that he was close to getting that 50. And he told Magic Johnson the night before that he had something for Clyde Drexler, you know, because people were saying that Clyde Drexler was on his level, and Clyde Drexler was a runner-up to the MVP that season. And people were trying to make it seem as if Clyde Drexler and Michael Jordan were closer, and then Michael Jordan believed in his mind than they really were. So he came out in that game and he dropped those 6 3-pointers, man. And, you know, we think about the iconic shrug, right, guys? I mean, just think about these moments that I'm talking about. The shrug. I mean, it was unbelievable when people tried to say that Michael Jordan couldn't shoot 3-pointers or that he didn't shoot that great. Like I've told you guys in past videos, any weakness that people thought Michael Jordan had, he would quickly fix that in the offseason. He was great at mastering his quote-unquote weaknesses. Whatever people thought was a weak area of his game, he would always erase that. And in the 1992 NBA Finals, he destroyed the Portland Trailblazers in Game 1 with that strategy. And they made that fatal mistake in Game 1, and it cost them. So the shrug game of 1992 NBA Finals Game 1, Mike hit him with the shrug, man. Just didn't even know what to say, man. None of us did at the time. You know, we have to go to another iconic moment, right? And I'm going to say the next iconic moment we'll talk about is the 1993 NBA Finals, right? I mean, we have to think about that. The 1993 NBA Finals, the three-peat, right, that they would end up capturing 3 consecutive titles in a row. But the NBA Finals in general, Michael Jordan would set a record for points per game in an NBA Finals at 41 points per game. The entire NBA Finals of 1993 was one big iconic moment of Michael. I mean, every game was an iconic moment. Even the games that they lost, Michael Jordan was putting up these crazy, absurd numbers. What did he have? 3 or 4 games in a row where he scored over 40, I believe. I mean, just ridiculous. He had a 55-point game. Just unbelievable stuff, man. You know, we think about that series, the Bulls winning 3 in a row, and we think about Game 6, right? And we think about John Paxson hitting that 3-pointer to give the Bulls their 3rd championship in a row. And that was an iconic moment for John Paxson. However, when we think about that shot, you know, a lot of people have commented on past videos that I've done about John Paxson making that shot to try to somehow say that John Paxson saved Michael Jordan somehow. I don't understand that. I've done a video about that, guys. There's no way that Paxson saved Michael Jordan. We all know that was Game 6. If Paxson misses that shot, and if they lose that game, they still have a Game 7. So when we say the word saved, it's not really appropriate in that context. The Bulls were not saved. John Paxson did not save them. John Paxson stepped up and hit a big-time shot in a big-time moment to help the team win. But when we think about that shot, guys, we have to think about something in the 4th quarter. To put the context there, Michael Jordan was the only Chicago Bulls player to score in that 4th quarter other than John Paxson. He was the only Bull to score. So if Michael Jordan did not score in the 4th quarter, John Paxson's 3-pointer wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have meant anything because the Bulls would have been down by so much. I believe the Phoenix Suns scored 19 points in that quarter. You know how many points the Bulls scored, guys? They scored 12 points. 12 points in that 4th quarter, and Michael Jordan had 9 of them. 9 of the 12 points were scored by Michael Jordan. until I told you, John Paxson's three-pointer was the only point scored in that fourth quarter by anybody other than Michael Jordan. And the Phoenix Suns scored 19. So let's say that Michael Jordan didn't score any points, and John Paxson's three was the only three that they scored. The Phoenix Suns would have outscored the Bulls 19-3 in that fourth quarter. 19-3, guys, if Michael Jordan didn't score any points in the fourth quarter. But because Michael Jordan is so dominant in the fourth quarter, he was so dominant in that finals overall, he kept the Bulls within striking distance for John Paxson to be able to hit a three-point shot to win the game. So we have to remember that. So the 1993 NBA Finals was iconic. That was the three-peat. You know what I'm saying? The first three-peat the Bulls would accomplish. The first three-peat in the NBA since the Boston Celtics of the 60s, guys. I mean, think about how iconic that was in and of itself. No other team, not the Showtime Lakers, not the 70s Lakers with Will Chamberlain, Jerry West, and Elgin Baylor done three in a row. The New York Knicks of the early 70s with Willis Reed and Dave DeBusschere and Walt Frazier. All these guys, they did not win three in a row. You know, we think about some of these other teams. Larry Bird Celtics of the 80s, they did not win three in a row. The Showtime Lakers of the 80s, none of these teams won three in a row, guys. Dr. J Sixers with Moses Malone in the early 80s, they did not win three in a row. The Chicago Bulls were the first team, not even the bad boy Detroit Pistons, who were going for three in a row in 1991. A lot of people feel that in 1988, the Pistons should have won. So yeah, maybe the Pistons had a legit chance to win three in a row because they would go on to win 89 and 90. But no one actually accomplished this till the 1991, 92, and the 93 Bulls. So that was very, very iconic for the three-peat. Then we would have to probably go to another iconic moment would be the I'm back. Michael Jordan coming out of retirement saying I'm back. We all know how much that meant to us. Michael Jordan, saying that fax, with the words I'm back on it, that being very iconic. A lot of people have taken that I'm back over the years from when they're coming back for something. You've seen people wearing those shirts with the newspaper, saying I'm back on it. That was a very iconic moment in Michael Jordan's career. Him coming out of retirement in 1995. After the world or the sports world was starved, the NBA wasn't really what it was without Michael Jordan. They were missing its star, and Michael Jordan came back. Thank God for that, right? Then we have to think about 1996, guys, right? The 72-10 Bulls, setting the then record, 72 wins. Very iconic team. To me, the greatest team of all time. And I don't think you can argue that. Michael Jordan is on the team. Any team with Michael Jordan, to me, you can't argue against, but that's just me, guys. But yeah, we think about the 72-10, 1996 Chicago Bulls and how iconic that team was, how iconic that season was. Very, very iconic season when you're talking about Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and Tony Kukoc and Phil Jackson, and some of these guys, Ron Harper. You think about the team, like I said, it was just a very iconic team at that time. The way that they were winning, they were just destroying the NBA. The way that they played the game, it was beautiful to watch the Chicago Bulls in 1996, man, destroy everybody. And then they would go on to win the championship, which obviously is the reason why we think about the 72-10 Bulls that way. And we don't really talk about the 73-9 Warriors in the same regard. Because the 73-9 Warriors of 2016 didn't get it done. They did not win the championship. And, that to me is a big part of being, considered one of the greatest teams of all time. You had to have won the championship that year. So that was very iconic. We can think about, there's so many moments, guys. I know I missed a lot of moments and I've skipped over some moments. I'm just trying to go over some of the main moments, some of the things that I thought about. We have to think about the 1998 NBA Finals, obviously. But before that, we have to think about the flu game in 97, right? The flu game in Game 5, I believe that was, in the 97 Finals. That was a huge, huge game, guys. Not only was Michael Jordan sick or not feeling good, whatever you guys want to call it, food poisoning, he was up late, and didn't get enough sleep, whatever it is. To me, that game was so, so important because it was Game 5. The Bulls had lost 2 in a row in Utah. This was the third game in Utah. You guys remember the 2-3-2 format. And, like I said, a lot of people were saying the Bulls were going to lose that third game in Utah. Utah was one of the most difficult places to play. in the NBA. During that time in the 90s, they had hecklers there, man. They were super loud. And people were saying the Bulls were not going to win that game, especially with Michael Jordan not feeling 100%. But Michael Jordan, he dug deep. He dug deep like he always did. Never left Scottie Pippen out there by himself on an island. Never left the Bulls hanging. He always dug deep. Michael Jordan never played 10 minutes in an NBA Finals game or 15 minutes in an NBA Finals game or 20 minutes in an NBA Finals game because he wasn't feeling good or he was dealing with a nagging injury or things like that. Michael Jordan was always ready to go. When he was on the court, he was going to go. And he wasn't going to be half-stepping it, playing 20 minutes or, in a limited capacity. He was going to be out there and giving it his go, his all, his 100% effort. Excuse me, guys. And I think that's why that game is so important, man, because like I said, if the Bulls lose that game, they're in big trouble, man. They're in big, big trouble. They would have lost 3 in a row to the Utah Jazz that were a very, very good team. But Michael Jordan came through and grit out a tough performance, hitting essentially the game winner in that game. He had that three-pointer, towards the end of late in the fourth quarter there, which pretty much sealed the deal for the Bulls. Before he was helped off the court by Scottie Pippen, man. So the flu game, man, in 1997 NBA Finals, man. And then we're going to finish up with Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals, right? Consecutive years, Michael Jordan just putting on a show, digging deep, on fumes. In 1998, Game 6, Michael Jordan was on fumes, guys. You know he was on fumes. You've seen the Last Dance documentary. If you haven't seen that, I suggest you watch it. If you guys remember growing up watching it at that time live, like I do, to me, what Michael Jordan did at the end of Game 6 in the 1998 Finals, given all the circumstances that we know, that 3-play sequence to me is the greatest sequence in a championship game, closeout game by a superstar in history of sports, guys. In the history of sports. That's just my opinion, guys. When you think about it, let's think about the sequence, guys. You guys know what I'm talking about. The Bulls are down by 3 points, right? And the Bulls have the ball, but essentially they have to score quickly, right? To conserve time on the clock. They have to score quickly. They have to almost get a 2-for-1. You guys have heard that before, a 2-for-1, where you go quickly to reserve time so that the Utah Jazz can't essentially just run the clock out. They will have to put up a shot, and it gives the Bulls the ball back with some time left, right? A 2-for-1 is called, right? So essentially, Michael Jordan had to score quickly, which he did. And if you guys remember, it's the little things, guys. If you guys remember that layup that Michael Jordan scored to bring them within 1, right? If you remember that play when he drives to the basket off the hesitation, he gets past Russell. But as he's going past Russell, if you look closely, Russell actually hits the ball. He actually slaps down the ball. But Michael Jordan's hands, those freakish hands he had, were so strong, he was able to fight through that. And as he's going up for the layup through all that by Russell, slapping down the ball, Antoine Carr comes over, and as Michael Jordan's laying it up, it's almost as he hits Michael Jordan's hand at the same time that Michael Jordan lays it on the glass. I mean, it was simultaneous, guys. Watch the replay, how close this was, and how, like I said, how Michael Jordan didn't even get stripped or blocked on this play was part of his greatness in this. So he scores that basket, right? Pulls the Bulls within 1. And then what happens? The Utah Jazz come down right on offense. And Michael Jordan, who spoke about this, man, he remembered the Utah Jazz running the same play the sequence before. He remembered that. Michael Jordan's IQ, his memory, his mind, right, which might be his greatest strength, he was able to know and read what the Utah Jazz were going to do again. And what did Michael Jordan do? If you watch that replay closely again of Michael Jordan on defense, he actually faked John Stockton out, which is actually amazing considering John Stockton is one of the greatest passers of all time, and John Stockton was not known for turning the ball over, even though that turnover was not on John Stockton. He faked John Stockton out. He acted if he was going to follow Jeff Hornacek down and away from the action. But what he do? Michael Jordan came back and peeled back around. And when John Stockton thought that Michael Jordan was clearing out, he dumped the ball down to Karl Malone. Karl Malone did not realize Michael Jordan had turned back around. John Stockton did not give Karl Malone the heads up. And what does Michael Jordan do, guys? He strips down on the ball of Karl Malone, does not foul Karl Malone. That was the key to that play, guys. If he fouls Karl Malone there, chances are the game is probably over for the Bulls. The Utah Jazz will probably hold on and win. But Michael Jordan slaps down the ball, strips Karl Malone. Not only does he strip him and not foul him, he recovers the strip, recovers the ball, gathers it, proceeds to dribble down the court. And then we all know what happens. Michael Jordan hits the most iconic shot in his career, right? Against the Utah Jazz, holding the finish up there. We all know about the shot. But to me, that entire sequence shows why I believe Michael Jordan is the greatest two-way player in the history of the NBA, guys. Greatest two-way player in the history of the NBA, to me, is Michael Jordan. And that sequence was all the proof that you need, was a perfect example of why I feel that way. To score quickly in a 2-for-1 scenario, read the offensive play, strip Karl Malone without fouling him, gathering the strip, going down the court, never passing the ball to any of his teammates, not calling for a screen. He dribbles the ball down methodically and proceeds to go one-on-one and win the game and win the championship for his team. To me, that is the greatest three-play sequence I've ever seen, especially when it comes to an NBA Finals by a superstar in a closeout game to win the championship. I've never seen anybody else do that on both ends. 3 plays, guys. 2 scores and a defensive play. Michael Jordan closed out that in amazing, amazing fashion. The most iconic sequence in the history of Michael Jordan's career to me, guys. So listen, guys, I know I went really long. I rambled on. You don't have to watch the whole video at once. Come back, watch half it, come back, watch the second half, man. Scan through it. Maybe I didn't talk about all the iconic moments. Maybe there were iconic moments that you guys remember that were more iconic to you, that mattered more to you guys. I can't cover them all, guys. There's too many. I can go on for probably an hour talking about Michael Jordan's iconic moments, right? When he came back and dropped 55 on the New York Knicks. When he first came back from retirement. We could talk about when Michael Jordan, his last game at Madison Square Garden, when he brought back the Air Jordans, right? The first Air Jordans he wore, right? To his last game at Madison Square Garden as a Chicago Bull. There were a lot of iconic moments, when they first got past the Detroit Pistons in 1991. And, it was a big thing for the Bulls to finally get past them in 1991, right? And then the Pistons walking off the court. Things like that, man. There were a lot of iconic moments in Michael Jordan's career. Like I said, guys, let me know what you guys think, what I missed, what was the most iconic moment for you guys personally. For me, when I think about Michael Jordan, I don't know, guys. It's tough, man. It's hard for me to pick out one. But to me, like I've told you guys, it's always been Michael Jordan's beauty on the court, man. The way he played the game. It mattered a lot to me. His intensity on the court mattered a lot to me. The fact that he always played, he never sat out, he was always there for us, mattered a lot to me, man. I don't know if I could pick any one thing out, man, but that sequence at the end of Game 6 to me, man, it was something special, man. I've never seen a player do that on both sides of the court at the end of a championship, man, to close it out. Just never seen that before, man. It was so special, guys. So thanks again for watching my video, guys. I know I went super long. The iconic moments of Michael Jordan, man. The most iconic basketball player in the history of the NBA, man, is Michael Jordan. In my opinion, guys, I covered a lot of iconic moments. The video is super long. We could go on and on about Michael Jordan's iconic moments. This is one of them behind me right there, the shot against the Cleveland Cavaliers in 1989. Let me know what you guys think, man. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Michael Jordan, the icon that Michael Jordan was, and the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan, man.